Hello and welcome to this session on understanding environment. The earth is a delicately balanced system. All living organisms on earth, including plants, animals and human beings, are interdependent on one another in some way or the other. This delicate system is affected when reckless activities are carried out by human beings. It has been proved that human activities are responsible for altering the environment and threatening the very existence of life on earth. In view of the ever degrading environmental condition, it is necessary to understand the value of environment and its impact on life and act for its preservation. A better understanding of this will enable human beings to contribute towards better existence of life on earth. It is in this context that environment and its study deserves absolute importance in our education system. Definition of ecology. The term ecology is derived from the term ecology, which is a combination of two Greek words oikos and ology. Oikos refers to habitation and ology refers to study or discourse. The combined meaning of these two terms implies the study of the habitations of living beings or organisms. It was Ernst Haeckel, a German zoologist, who first coined the term ecology in the year 1869. He explained ecology as the interrelation of the animals to the organic and inorganic environment. Ecology has been defined by various other scientists, researchers and investigators on similar terms. G. L. Clark defined ecology in the year 1954 as the study of interrelations of plants and animals with their environment. In the year 1955, M. Woodbury defined ecology as a science that investigates organisms in relation to their environment. He considered it as a philosophy that interprets the world of life in terms of natural process. P. Odum explained ecology in 1963 as the study of the relations of organisms or groups of organisms to their environment. Thus, in simple words, ecology can be defined as the study of the relationships that exist between living organisms and their physical environment. Ecology tries to explain the crucial connection that exists between living organisms, including human beings and the world around them. It includes the study of all organisms from microscopic bacteria to human beings and their habitats of different sizes. It stresses on the need to utilize earth's resources in a responsible manner so that the environment can be preserved for the future generations. Fundamentals of ecology. Ecology is the process through which we can gather knowledge about the functioning of the world and its beings. It offers explanation regarding the interrelations of organisms and their environment under natural conditions. Clark explained that the fundamentals of ecology depend on the fact that in order to survive, living beings require three specific things from their surroundings: steady supply of energy, steady supply of material and removal of waste products. In keeping with this view, ecologists seek to explain the following points: how life processes, interactions and adaptations take place among organisms, how materials and energy move through living communities, how successional developments of ecosystems take place, and how the abundance and distribution of organisms and biodiversity can be explained in the context of the environment. Ecology is broadly classified into articology and synecology. Articology is also known as species ecology, as it deals with the interactions of an individual organism or a single species with the living and non-living factors of its environment. Articology is mainly experimental in nature, as it deals with quantifiable variables like light, humidity and available nutrients in order to comprehend the requirements and behavior of organisms and species. Synecology is the study of groups of organisms of various species that are bound together as a community. It can be explained as the study of the entire ecosystem, including habitats like deserts, tropical forests, oceans, etc. Thus, synecology is also known as community ecology. Objectives of ecology. Ecology is a distinct science that is complex in nature. It is a wide subject that incorporates multidisciplinary knowledge. Its unique point of view is based on a specific set of procedures and techniques. The objectives of ecology are based on the fundamental understanding of the significance of the following phenomena: the distribution and abundance of organisms in terms of habitat, community, biogeography or niche under local and geographical arenas, temporary changes taking place in the occurrence, abundance and activities of organisms, which includes seasonal, annual, geological and successional changes. The interrelationships that develop between organisms that exist as a population or in communities, namely population ecology. The adaptations and adjustments of organisms in terms of structure and function to their physical environment. The manner in which organisms behave under natural conditions. The evolutionary development of all interrelations between organisms. The biological productivity of nature and their usefulness to mankind, and the analysis and development of mathematical models that explain interaction of parameters and fatal effects. Ecology is a human science with many practical applications for the betterment of mankind. It is a wide area that can be explored to find out answers that hold the key for the existence and conservation of life on earth. What is biosphere? The term biosphere is derived from two Greek words, bios meaning life and sphaira meaning sphere. The term biosphere was coined by English geologist Edward Suess in the year 1875. Biosphere is one of the four layers that surround the earth, the other three being atmosphere, lithosphere and hydrosphere. Biosphere can be defined as the zone of life on earth. It is that layer where life dwells on this planet. This layer extends from the deep corner of the ocean bed to several kilometers into the atmosphere. It is interesting to note that life exists in the most unexpected places on earth. For instance, living organisms such as lichens and bacteria exist at the summit of Mount Everest, which is 6 miles high. Some organisms exist in Mariana Trench in the Pacific Ocean, which is the deepest place within the world's oceans. However, the maximum concentration of living organisms can be found about 1 mile into the atmosphere. In other words, the biosphere is made up of all these ecosystems and communities existing on earth. The biosphere is a closed system that is largely self-regulating. The presence of air, water and soil makes biosphere suitable for life. These three are the principal components based on which the biosphere is divided into the atmosphere, the hydrosphere and the lithosphere. These three are the principal components based on which the biosphere is divided into the atmosphere, the hydrosphere and the lithosphere. Though these three layers are distinct, they are not isolated from one another and are interconnected. Atmosphere. The atmosphere is a gaseous blanket that surrounds our planet. This multi-layered body of air is made up of various gases that functions as a shield of protection for the earth. It is this collection of gases that makes the planet habitable. It offers protection from the sun's ultraviolet rays and saves us from freezing cold. The atmosphere is made up of about 78% nitrogen, 21% oxygen and the remaining 1% is composed of carbon dioxide, argon, water vapor and the traces of several other gases. However, this 1% gaseous mixture has significant influence on the overall climate of the planet. The atmosphere can be divided into 5 layers, namely exosphere, thermosphere, mesosphere, stratosphere and troposphere. The troposphere is the layer closest to the earth and it is where weather occurs as it contains the maximum amount of water vapor. Lithosphere. The lithosphere is the solid rocky crust and the uppermost mantle that constitutes the rigid outer layer of the earth. It covers the entire surface of the planet extending from the top of the Mount Everest to the deepest corner of the Mariana Trench. This rocky crust is inorganic in nature and is rich in various minerals. The lithosphere surrounds the asthenosphere, the hotter, weaker and deeper part of the earth's upper mantle. As such, the lithosphere affects the transportation of heat through the earth. Lithosphere is categorized into 2 types, oceanic lithosphere and continental lithosphere. The oceanic lithosphere is linked to the oceanic crust and is found in the ocean basins of the world. The continental lithosphere is linked to the continental crust and is found on the continents and areas of shallow seabed. Lithosphere comprises of multiple layers like the crust, the mantle, the outer and the inner core. The uppermost part of the lithosphere engages in chemical reaction with the atmosphere, hydrosphere and biosphere through the process of soil formation. This layer is called the pedosphere. Soil is one of the components of the earth that helps to make it habitable. Hydrosphere. The hydrosphere comprises of the liquid water component on and near to the earth's surface. On the earth's surface, the liquid water exists as oceans, seas, rivers, lakes, ponds and streams. Below the earth's surface, it exists as groundwater in wells and aquifers. It also exists as clouds and fog formed by water vapor. The frozen part of the hydrosphere on the earth comprises of the ice glaciers, ice caps and icebergs. This frozen part is known as the cryosphere. The hydrosphere covers around 70% of the earth's surface. It is home to a huge number of living organisms that include plants and animals. The hydrosphere is in continuous motion. Life on earth is heavily dependent on the hydrosphere. In this context, it can be said that rainforests exist in some of the wettest places on the earth and contains 2/3 of the world's biodiversity. A key process of the hydrosphere is the water cycle. In this cycle, water evaporates as vapor from oceans, seas and other water bodies. This water vapor collects as clouds and falls back on earth as rains or snow. This water again gets collected in rivers, lakes, oceans etc. and then evaporates to restart the cycle again. Water exists on earth in 2 forms, salt water and fresh water. The oceans contain 97% of the planet's water and it is salty water. Of the remaining water, 2% exists as frozen ice caps and glaciers. The remaining 1% is the fresh water available on earth. This makes conservation of fresh water an important issue. The earth's biosphere is unique as it has the capacity to support life. Human beings have acquired the capacity to cause harm to the biosphere through their activities. However, they have not yet gained the knowledge about how to rectify the damage that they are causing to the environment. It is in the interest of mankind to understand the importance of biosphere and strive to protect it. Energy flow. In an ecosystem, the flow of energy takes place in a unidirectional manner. Sun is considered to be the primary source of energy that drives the ecosystems of the world. Solar energy enters the ecosystem through the process of photosynthesis. The sun's electromagnetic energy is captured and converted to chemical energy by certain organisms in the ecosystem, which are known as producers. These producers utilize just some amount of the solar energy, while the rest is dissipated. The flow of energy is known as calorific flow in ecology. It refers to the flow of energy through different levels in a food chain. These levels are known as trophical levels, and each level includes organisms based on their reception and transfer of energy. The general flow of energy in ecology can be explained as follows. The producers of the ecosystem are the green plants and some bacteria and algae. They belong to the first trophic level. The primary producers, like the green plants, capture the solar energy. This stored energy of the plants is absorbed by the primary consumers through the process of digestion. The primary consumers belong to the second trophic level. The energy is transformed into a form that is required by the consumers through the process of respiration. Primary consumers, such as the herbivores, convert a portion of the energy they receive to body heat. This energy is radiated away and is lost from the system. Loss of energy also takes place due to the process of expulsion of undigested food in the form of excretion. The primary consumers are consumed by the secondary consumers, like the carnivores. The secondary consumers belong to the third trophic level. Omnivores also consume primary consumers. Thus, the secondary consumers absorb the energy that was utilized by primary consumers for growth and storage. They absorb the energy through the process of digestion. Secondary consumers then convert this energy into a suitable form during respiration. This process also results in the loss of some amount of energy from the system, as the energy that was used by primary consumers for respiration and regulation of body heat would not be available for use by the secondary consumers. Next are the tertiary consumers that consume the secondary consumers. They belong to the fourth trophic level. These tertiary consumers may or may not be the apex predators that reside at the top of their food chain. In this case also, some amount of energy is converted and passed on to the lower levels of the food chain, while some amount of energy is lost in the process. The decomposers are the final link in the food chain. They are responsible for breaking down of organic matter of the tertiary consumers and releasing the nutrients into the soil. The decomposers play an active and important role by breaking down the plants, carnivores and herbivores that were not consumed by organisms placed higher up in the food chain. They also break down the undigested food excreted by the herbivores and carnivores. Organisms like fungi and bacteria act as decomposers of the food chain and are crucial for nitrogen and carbon cycles. As energy passes from one trophic level to the next, each time about 90% of the energy is lost. This means only 10% of the energy is passed down the food chain. Thus, if an autotroph produces 100% solar energy, only 10% of it is absorbed by primary consumers. This means by the time the energy flows down to the tertiary consumers, only 0.1% of the energy is absorbed by them. As such, the apex consumer of the food chain gets the least amount of energy, while a major portion of the energy is lost between the trophic levels. The relationship among the primary, secondary and tertiary consumers is usually expressed in the form of an energy pyramid. This pyramid has producers at the bottom and the tertiary consumers at the top. Ecosystem. An ecosystem comprises of life forms that exist in a symbiotic relation with their environment. The two main structural components of an ecosystem are biotic and abiotic. The abiotic components are the properties of the environment. The biotic components consist of the life forms in an ecosystem. The biotic and abiotic components of an ecosystem interact with one another. An ecosystem has no fixed size. It can be as large as a desert or as small as a tree. An ecosystem can be natural or artificial. It can also be permanent or temporary. Ecological categories. The biotic components of an ecosystem are categorized into different levels on the basis of acquiring food. The three main levels of the biotic components are producers, consumers and decomposers. Producers. Producers are considered to be the most vital components of an ecosystem. Producers depend directly on the abiotic component to survive and produce nutrients for their survival. Green plants are the primary producers that trap solar energy and convert it into chemical energy by photosynthetic activity. Certain photosynthetic bacteria are also important producers in the ecosystem. Consumers. Consumers are the living components of an ecosystem that depend on the producers to obtain their nutrition. It consists of all the animals and some varieties of plants. Consumers are categorized as primary, secondary and tertiary consumers, parasites and saprophytes. Decomposers. Decomposers are the components that transform organic compounds into inorganic compounds. They convert the dead bodies of animals and plants into their elemental stage. Decomposers mainly consist of bacteria and fungi. These three biotic components are essential for the proper maintenance of the ecosystem. They ensure the flow of energy and nutrients to the earth in a continuous manner. Ecological awareness. Man is a part of nature. Human beings are dependent on the other components of the environment for survival. In the early days, man lived in harmony with nature. However, due to the unchecked increment in population, human beings started to destroy the environment. As the rate of consumption of human beings increased, the rate of degradation of nature also increased. This resulted in environmental imbalance. It is high time now that people all over the world recognize the importance of ecological preservation. It is not necessary to be associated with any organization or act in a big way to start caring for the environment. It can start in a small way in every home. For instance, we can discard plastic bags or bottles and start using reusable bags and bottles in our daily life. We can stop using paper napkins and switch to cloth napkins instead. We can opt for online bills instead of paper bills from our service providers. Such actions can be the first conscious steps towards preserving the environment and stepping on the road to ecological awareness. If we continue to ignore the degradation of the environment, then the very existence of mankind on earth will be threatened. Let me summarize the session. Living beings on earth are interdependent on one another for their survival. The environment plays an important role in making the earth a habitable place. All living organisms depend on the environment for their growth and existence. Ecology is the science that allows us to understand the complex functioning of the organisms in relation to their environment. All living organisms exist within the biosphere on earth. The biosphere is divided into the atmosphere, hydrosphere and lithosphere. The solar energy is the main source of energy that drives the ecosystems on earth. It is converted by the green plants through the process of photosynthesis and utilized by the other organisms. As energy passes from one trophic layer to the next, 90% of it is lost. Along with the solar energy, we also need the three biotic components, namely producers, consumers and decomposers for the proper maintenance of the ecosystem. All these factors stress us on the need to utilize Earth's resources in a responsible manner so that the environment can be preserved for the future generations. Now, you can try to answer the questions given here. What do we mean by the term ecology? Why is Biosphere said to be the zone of life on Earth. Explain the role of atmosphere in sustaining life on the planet. What are the 3 primary biotic components of an ecosystem? Draw comparisons between atmosphere, lithosphere and hydrosphere. Why should we conserve the fresh water found on Earth? Write an analytical note on being ecologically aware. Now you can go through these books for reference. Environmental Sciences and Technology in India, written by Aravind A. and published by Daya Publishing House, New Delhi in the year 2008. A textbook of Environmental Science, written by Joshi PC and Joshi N. and published by APH Publishing Corporation, New Delhi in 2009. Hope that you have enjoyed this program. We can meet again with another topic. Thank you.